Okay, so I'm still working on carrier model number 58STA070-14112. I showed you in an earlier video how to remove the inducer motor, so I'm going to take it apart in this video and I will show you how to take every section of it off. I already took off the motor. So earlier, I took this off earlier and I tried to, and this is the key you need. It's basically 1/8, as you see, Allen key, 1/8. So earlier I tried to take it off. Always when you put the key here, don't go crazy right away on it. Sometimes you could be lucky, it will come off. But my advice to you, before you go use all the force, this might strip, or the screw might strip. If this is usually most cases 90%, this is really hard to take it apart. So what I did, basically, you can heat this. Again, you don't have to heat it too much. You don't have to heat it too much, but heat it like this for like a minute. You want it to be hot. Why? Because when you put oil on it, I think you can see it, yeah. So when you put oil on it here and here, see how it will spread much faster. Okay, and then before you, still don't go yet, don't put the thing and try like crazy. When you put oil on it, again, it's gonna be hotter, so you can feel the oil going quickly. And sometimes you see little smoke, it's okay. Again, you don't have to go too hot, because if you put oil on it and the oil just evaporate and maybe burn, that's too hot. You have to heat it in a way, maybe a minute, so that when you put oil, it will spread very easy into the threads, right? Let me make sure you can see it. Sorry guys, I'm a new YouTuber. And then when you put the oil, you hit on it. Don't go crazy, just like this. You're trying to give it a shock, you know, right? And then if you happen to have this, it's like a chisel, and it's really skinny. You put it into the screw like this, right? It's already in. Again, don't go crazy. You don't want to break the bearing. You go like this. Believe it or not, I tried before I put oil. It was really hard, so I didn't go crazy on it. I just tried. Sometimes it can move very easy. But after I put oil and I hit it and I tried, I give it a little bit of force and it came off. So as you see, okay? If it didn't come off, try to heat it again, put more oil, keep hitting on it again. But if you feel like when I did this, I give it a really strong kick. So this guy comes off. A lot of times this can be a problem, but what you can do, same thing, you remove the screw all the way. You take it off. See, it's not coming off yet. So you move the screw, don't lose it. And you put more oil in here and into the hole. See the hole? And then try to hold the fan. Don't go crazy, but you try to find the small play. See, if it starts playing, sometimes what you can do, you can remove this. I'll show you how to remove this. So sometimes you might need to remove this wheel. Why? Because when you remove it, see, this is a star clip, as you see. This star is only strong when it's flat, but if you bend it, if you hold with the plier and you bend it, it will come off. So I have it off now. See, the thing comes off like this. Now you need a wrench, small wrench, and you need to hold this flat section. Let me just make sure you can see it, guys. You need to hold this small section here like this, right? And then you're gonna force it to just turn a little bit, so it's gonna release itself because it's stuck. See now it moved, right? Now you can very simply take it off. So I'm gonna, while I'm moving it, I'm pushing it upward, and then and then it comes off. Okay, so you got the idea. See, it's already moving. See, now this came off. Now everything else should be very easy. The hardest part, taking the wheel out of the thing, and a lot of time in the field, I had cases where it never came off. So what we usually do, we put a sawzall in here, put a sawzall like this, right? And here, if you can see it, right? And we cut the shaft. When you cut the shaft, basically you need to replace the wheel and the motor. But 80% cases we can get away with it if you know how to remove this. And sometimes, even without cutting it, the wheel could be bad. Okay, so I'm going to show the other section, which is going to get easier and easier. So basically, you remove these three screws, right? And then it comes off. Now, sometimes this is glued in here, so it comes off. You're all good. Okay, so this is the motor. Basically, these three screws, don't lose the screws. These three screws basically are connecting to the mount the motor. So the motor will come off. Okay, so that's the whole thing you need to know. Now, a lot of times I went to a jobs, the motor was making noise, and then I asked them, they said it was making noise, and it stopped. So I put some oil on the bearing here and here, you know, and it works. But again, I tell them you might have heat for a day or two or a week, but you need to replace it. Okay, the thing you have to know about the grommets, these grommets can be replaced. A lot of time I go to a furnace and it's working, but it's, the wheel somehow it's touching something when it's running, you know, like, you know. So I see, usually you can see, if you look at the bearing, you see they're off, right? I don't know if you can see it. See, they're not in the center. They should be in the center. So after many, many years, they start becoming on one section. So that's why a lot of time when I replace the motor, I replace the bearing too. The grommets, I replace them. Okay, so let me show you quickly how to put them back. So these, they go back in here like that. So basically, if you replace the motor and the wheel, I mean the wheel hardly goes bad, but in some cases can be, you know, something can be stuck in it. So you put these like that, right? Now the motor, again, you try to remember, you can see this place how it's already marked. So it goes like this, right? So you put the motor, again, you have three screws, right? You put them here. I'm not organized, guys. This is my problem. I'm not organized. So you put this in the place. And then, again, when you tighten these, I recommend don't go crazy on it. Like you can go all the way to the end. Very slowly, be careful. Don't use a very powerful drill, right? You have to use like something common, something that is not very strong. And then with the hand tight, okay? Not just like this and that's it, you're good. Now let's say you replaced already the washers and this goes back here. This goes back here, sorry. Okay, and you put the screws back here, the other way, around. And basically, that's it. So just remember, the biggest, the most complicated part is the trying to make sure you can see me, guys, because I'm a new YouTuber and I apologize for not being really high tech with all these guys, the new guys. YouTube has all these gadgets. So this is good. Remember, this green has to be the mounting screw. Remember, it goes in here. So this is good. Now, when you want to put the wheel back, same thing. There's a flat section. Flat section should go to the flat surface of the shaft. Okay. So this goes here like that. Okay. Now, as I told you, this star thing. I hope I didn't lose it. Where are you, please? This star thing here, before you put it, you have to make it really, really flat and perfect. So you gotta get a plier like this and make it flat, okay? It has to be really, really flat. And then when you put it here, you just push it, then it's gonna bend on its own, and somehow it will never come back. It will never come off unless you bring a long plier like this, long nose plier, and then you kick it. See how it goes? As long as it's flat, it's good. But when you When you bend it, it flew away. When you bend it, it will lose track. It cannot hold the shaft anymore. I'm going to put it back. Always flatten and put it back. Now when you put back the wheel, same thing. It only can go one way, so don't worry. We're going to put back the screw that I removed earlier, so I was able to put some oil in it. So again, do not try to when this thing, you're trying to remove it from here, do not put a screwdriver and try to pry it. Don't do that, because eventually you're going to cause a lot of damage for the wheel, and you might damage also the what you call the mounting plates, So this, I put it here, see, like that, just a little bit, and then same thing, you have to go with the surface, flat surface, to the mounting screw. And then when you put it here, let me see, you can see this. And then it's just going to be a little bit hard, because earlier I had a hard time removing it. So you can hold the wheel and move it a little bit. Now try to put it perfectly flat with the shaft end, like this. And make sure the flat surface is facing the screw. Okay, let me see if you can see it. I'm so sorry. Okay, good. Okay, so and then you can tighten it now. Don't go, you can go crazy, but don't, hurt your hand, like you can go like this, like 1, 2, 3, that's it. Now always before you put it, try to test the door like this, so it doesn't touch anything. Okay, so that's all for putting it together, and I already showed you a video how to put it back. Okay, I think that's it for today. Let me get to the other section of the furnace, and we'll be back. Okay, thank you so much for your time.